Good afternoon, everyone. Good to see a packed hall. And I know we've got a whole lot of goodies lined up here, and I hope that much of what you hear will be very informative. So I'll take the first part, and Cynthia, you're all ready for the next part? Okay, so this IBAP has to do with observing children's learning through art viewing, because sometimes you wonder, how can looking at a piece of art lead to learning? And here we are to share with you. So why art viewing? So the reason why we picked it, apart from the fact that it's one of my areas of research, is that in the teacher training that we currently have, whether for certificate or diploma, there is very little that's mentioned about the training teachers can receive in guiding children in art viewing. I'm not talking about showing children artworks, but how to facilitate the art viewing experiences so that you can observe learning going on with the children. So that was one of the things, because we do a lot of art, we expose children to art, but what is the benefit? And also, from an earlier research that I did, it showed that art viewing was largely a missing or absent component in much of the art program in preschools in Singapore. Most of the time, teachers involve children in art making, in doing art, rather than looking at art. So we thought this is a pertinent area to engage centre leaders in, to encourage art viewing experiences. And also, for those of you who are on Spark or considering Spark, this is one of the criterion, 5.2 D6, where it talks about teachers providing opportunities for children to talk about what they see, think and feel about a variety of artworks. So today we hope to give all of you an understanding of the benefits of art viewing, and also through the workshop, I worked with centre leaders in facilitating art viewing sessions so that they could train their staff in doing the same. So in terms of the intervention, we spent some time talking about the benefits of art viewing, what the children are going to glean, what the teachers will also benefit from, and as a school, how it benefits everyone. So we went through the art viewing experience, and also I guided the leaders into how to select suitable artworks. There are some artworks that lend themselves better to discussion than some others, and also how to get a variety of genres from different periods, different styles, and also we were looking at lots of local artworks, because nowadays we try to encourage in Singapore that we look at local artists and local artworks and not just look at historical and foreign artworks. And part of the workshops included a learning journey to National Gallery. So I'd like to introduce this particular model called the triadic interaction model. Now, Lai, actually that's my maiden name because I'm the researcher. So in case you're wondering who is this person, actually it's me. Yeah, okay, my married name is Chung, my maiden name is Lai, but researchers have to go that way. So this triadic interaction model has got three components. So you see there's the children, there's the teacher, there's the artworks. So it is children being exposed to artworks that were selected by the teacher. And as children interact with the artworks, they are responding to the artworks, and the artworks become a focal point, because children have to respond to something. It's one thing for the teacher to talk to children, but when you have an artwork, it becomes a visual focal point. The children have something to say. And the teacher's involvement is in the selection of artworks, and the teacher's involvement with the children is in the facilitation of the discussion. So this movement is going up and down, back and forth. So communication between teacher and children, as well as dialogue among children, are all based on interactions with artworks as the focal point of conversations. And one of the strategies that was used was developed by Abigail Hausen from Harvard Project Zero, and this is called the visual thinking strategies. In facilitating art viewing sessions using the VTS technique, teachers prompt and guide children, and this is the best part, because in my earlier research, many teachers shied away from it because they said, but we don't know much about the artists. We don't know much about the artworks. What if we teach the wrong thing? What if we guide the children wrongly? So maybe we shouldn't do it. And that's a valid response. And the good thing about this technique is you don't need background in art. You don't need to know the artwork. You don't need to be an artist, which means any teacher can conduct this. You don't have to send them to art school or do an art workshop. So in this, what we want are children to respond to artworks verbally, through words, as well as somatically, through their body. Whether it's hands, whole body, their facial expression, we want a response to the artwork. And when children respond to these artworks, it reveals how engaged and connected they are with the artworks. And they're talking about their interpretation. We didn't say the artist's interpretation. We're talking about the children's interpretation, which is valid. And the wonderful thing about art, as in many creative types of media, is it's very open. Open to interpretation. And for once, the children don't have to worry about whether it's the right answer, because there is no right answer. It is an interpretation. It is valid. So they engage, they interpret the images, and they make connections. And not only cognitive connections, they make emotional connections. And so when the children are talking about the artworks, as the educator, it provides you with a glimpse into the children's perceptions, their thinking, their feeling, and how they make meaning of things. And often you learn a lot about a child just by the child talking about the artwork. That's why we say observing children's learning through art viewing. So this is the technique. Then you'll say, oh, so easy. It is very simple, but it takes some skill, because all habits die hard, as the participants found out. Teachers have a tendency to teach. Teachers have a tendency to talk. You know, we just talk, talk, talk. So not to talk was so hard, right? So 3 questions are all the teachers need to know to carry this through. But you must know when to ask it. 1, you start with, what's going on in this picture? And the children talk, because it causes them to look carefully, to observe, and to describe. This is level 1, not a difficult portion. The second part is where the skill comes in, where the thinking goes a different level. The teacher, whatever answer the child gives, the teacher doesn't say, nice, good, thank you. The teacher continues to say, what do you see that makes you say that? See? There's thinking involved. That means, yes, you gave an answer, but what makes you say that? So the child has to back up the statements and ideas with evidence, which shows the child's logical thinking. And after a while, there'll be a lull, because children have talked, they have nothing more to say, then you say, oh, that's the end of the artwork. No, the teacher pushes further, stretches the children by saying, look carefully, what else can you find? Persistence. Look deeply. And so the child looks further, observes further. So the VTS facilitation technique just has these 3 points. And I'll share with you later if you come by the booth, and I'll talk more. And an additional portion that the art viewing workshop touched on was dealing with habits of mind. You can read a bit more from Costa and Kalik. And there are 16 habits of mind that are developed just through art viewing. What are habits of mind? These are positive learning dispositions and characteristics of intelligent behavior that transcend, go beyond subject matter, and guide learners in all situations. So it's not about the artwork, it's not about P1, it's about lifelong learning. And so children learn through this approach how to be persistent, manage impulsivity, think flexibly, this aspect of metacognition, listen to others with understanding and empathy, learn to question and pose problems, apply past knowledge to new situations, think and communicate with clarity and precision, gather data through the senses, be creative, imaginative, and innovative, respond with wonderment and awe, take responsible risks, find humor, think interdependently because they're all talking and they're listening to each other. So you piggyback on someone else and continue learning. So all 16 learning dispositions, habits of mind, can be featured depending on the skill of the teacher's facilitation. And so we took a trip to the National Gallery to look at artworks. And there's a famous one right down below on the left. Some of you will recognize it. It's in the $50 bill. Is it 50 or 10? 50, yeah. And so now I'd like to invite Cynthia Thomas to continue with the next part. Maybe a big hand for Cynthia.